Welcome everyone to another episode of the Dropping with Pindi podcast. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I am here with none other than the one and only UK's badass Andy Howson. Andy, you can back me up by saying this. I've been trying for the last couple of years in communication. I've got on WhatsApp as proof to try and get him here to Coventry to do this podcast.
I'm a busy man.
I know, yeah. Everyone can see on socials what you've been up to. I just want to say, first of all, before we get going, thank you so much for taking the time out your busy schedule,
thank you for
coming down. Really looking forward to this episode. The reason I've wanted to get you down here, we did a podcast here a few years back after your seminar with Liam and Steve, and that was awesome. But I know there was a lot more I wanted to kind of like get more knowledge of yourself in terms of your history, everything you've done for the sport, everything you've done as a fighter, as a coach, now a promoter, and the big news, now you're coming out of retirement again. So let's get started with the present and we'll work our way back. So you've announced recently within the last week, you're coming out of retirement. People are seeing you on the pads. You're looking all of a sudden 10 years younger.
Don't feel it, mate.
And you're looking sharp as anything. How you feel? Where did this come from?
So I can't really dive into who I'm fighting for just yet. I can't really say the promotion.
Yeah.
But back in June or July, I randomly got a message on Instagram from the promoter saying, "Oh, do you want to fight on the 10th of August in Miami, pro boxing?" And I was like, "Fuck, I'd really love to do that," but I just couldn't commit to it. My body wasn't in a position where I could have done it. You know, from training with me, I've carrying all sorts of injuries, my shoulder specifically, and various other things. I've not really trained myself for about 4 years because of injuries. So I was like, but it's one of these things where that offer then give me the kick up the ass needed to get things fixed and start training again. But obviously we had Liam fighting in Denver as well on one. Richard and Lisa were in Thailand. So I was looking after the gym in the morning in terms of like the fights classes and stuff like that. Training Liam for his fight every day. That I just couldn't have ever commit to doing the August show. And I thought it was going to be like a one-time offer and this, that and the other. And I was like, look, I'm really sorry, I can't do it. I've got too much on. Yeah. But I'm 100% interested. Is there any way to do something else? Luckily, the promoters worked with me. We've been in discussion. We've arranged a lot of stuff for now. And it's it looks like, well, I'll be making my debut in Dublin. I don't know the date yet. The promoter's waiting for the dates off the zone. Yeah. So he knows when it's going to be. But yeah, I'll pro boxing debut in Dublin at some point early next year.
Wicked.
I'm not sure on the date. Like I say, I can't say the promotion. But yeah, it's
it's huge. Honestly, when I saw it on Insta, I know obviously I'll come and train, and obviously you kind of like mentioning a few bits to me, but actually seeing it happening on socials and you announcing it brought like a little fire in my belly because I got excited. I've been a fanboy of you, Liam, and the guys, because I used to come and watch you with my dad when I was a kid, back in the old in the Reebok Stadium in the old shows, and even Leeds Town Hall, and seeing you retire, understandably, and then coming out of retirement now, it's like, fuck, yeah, it's super exciting.
Yeah, it's one of them where obviously it's pro boxing, it's a totally different thing.
Completely different.
Everything that I've done my entire career, all of my natural instincts are going against what I'm doing now. So it's hard. Yeah. Standing side, because I'm not just going to go in there and box as a Thai boxer. Like I can box, I can punch. I punch hard. But I'm not going to go in there and fight boxing in my Thai stance how I would in a traditional Thai boxing fight, because it's not going to work against these guys. I need to actually change and be a boxer. So
how are you finding that transition? Because obviously you've had X amount of fights in Thai, and everyone knows your fighting style. Everyone knows your fighting style. You're pressing. Constantly
walking forward, walking through shots. Yeah, not really defending that much and trying to land my own shit. And obviously everything now is totally different. Yeah, the footwork's different. Moving my head, slipping, dipping shots and things like that. It's hard. It's like nothing I've ever done before. So I'm totally relearning how to fight. In a sense, I've kind of done a full circle. I've done a full circle. So I'm enjoying it because I'm learning again. It's not Muay Thai. I'm still learning now. there'll be stuff where Liam will come and do something in a seminar. I'm like, oh, that's good, but maybe I can put that on it. And I'm always changing things and always doing something new, but it's still an old variation of something I've done for years with a little new spin on it. Do you know what I mean?
Nice,
It's not like I'm learning a totally new technique.
Yeah.
I'm learning something that I've done for 20 odd years. I'm just doing it slightly different and adding a new twist to it that makes it work better or sets up a different technique after.
I get you.
Whereas this is all totally brand new to me.
How you find the transition with the footwork? Because obviously, going back to what I was just saying, you're known for pressing all the time, standing, pressing, stalking your opponents down. With this one, you're having to dip in and out, sideways. How you adjusting to it? Yeah, literally.
It's hard. Yeah. There's been a few meltdowns.
Okay.
You'll have seen on my Instagram the other night. I put one up like Instagram, and it's me slipping shots, and I was like reality, and I'm just falling on the floor. I'm getting there slowly. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I've only been actually training I've been back in training full time. Well, I say full time training every day.
Yeah.
For 3 weeks. Okay. Just over 3 weeks.
Okay. Looking sharp for 3 weeks already.
I feel good. Obviously, the first couple of weeks, I'm an idiot. Like the first week, I was like, right, bump, all in, 2 sessions a day, stuff like that, and then I'm fucked by Wednesday. Wednesday came and I was like, I'm 45, not 20. Like, what are you doing? I'm 45. I've just had stem cell in my entire body, basically. And I think that's a big part of it. Like, the stem cells worked fantastic on like my knees, my lower back, my elbows and my hands and stuff like that. It's worked really well. My shoulders still not right, but it'll get there. But that's going to take time. But because I feel better, I've just gone 100 mile an hour. Okay. And then the first week, by Wednesday, dead. I'm finished. And I had to like struggle through the next couple of days. Following week, Thursday. Last week, Friday. So at least it's
increasing. It's increasing.
If I didn't feel knackered by the end of the week or during the week, there'd be something wrong with me. Like, I'm 45 years old. I've not trained for 4 years. I've literally just been a pad man for the last 4 years.
Which is hard.
Exactly,
I'll find that more hard.
Well, that's what's ruined my body. That's what's all the problems with the shoulder is more so.
Yeah.
When I went for the stem cell after Liam's fight in Denver, when they did the ultrasound on my shoulder, I had 4 rotator cuff tears. 4 different ones. Not same, all around my shoulder. And I tore my supraspinatus.
Is that from...
Maybe that movement. So it's all Liam's fault, basically.
Yeah.
We'll blame it on Liam.
Thanks, Liam.
We'll just blame it on him.
Yes.
It is not. That started training at Yokow in 2020 for my debut on One. One of the pad man there, he just gets excited when the camera comes out and they start filming, and when he's wanted like cross hook, and when I've thrown the cross and swung for the hook, he's kind of moved the pad, but he's moved it too much, so there was no connection, and I've just swung in midair. And I couldn't throw a hook for the rest of the camp. And it's kind of been since then, on and off. I've done rehab, I've had PRP, stuff like that. And it's made it better for a small period of time. But because I've been training Liam consistently, like pretty much daily, for the last 6 weeks or whatever for his fight in Denver, every day with that, plus anywhere from 6 to 8 PTs a day.
Yep.
It's just taken some hammering. So after the stem cell on that's not quite there yet. Everywhere else feels great. Mm-hmm. I can train, I can still throw it, and I'm still training hard. Yep. I'm still lifting, I'm still doing S&C twice a week.
Nice.
With Nat again. I'm hitting pads every other day. Every day I'm not doing S&C. I need to start bringing some like sparring and stuff like into it. But
you having to do road work?
I'm not running that.
No.
I never ran when I fought before. I'm not going to start now.
Fuck that.
I never ran when I was 17, 18. I'm not going to start 45. I'm going to do other stuff. A bit more like short, sharp burst stuff. I need to have a sit down with people like Nat and stuff like that, and maybe start going to Foxy for a bit of fitness stuff like that once a week or something for that little blast, similar to what Liam does. I think. Yeah, he'll do 2 days a week with Nat. A day with Foxy, which is more fitness stuff. So, cardio wise, I'm fine. Like, I know it sounds stupid, but I hold pads all day. Right. Even if I went and hit, I did it'd have been 15 rounds of boxing the other day. I did an hour straight, and I was fine. I wasn't gassed. I wasn't tired. I was absolutely fine. People. Obviously, I'm learning. So it's different. It's a bit stop.
People underestimate padding. People underestimate
hard,
padding.
yeah.
And
It's
like
hard.
how you got to be. Like, I know you get these big pad men as well, but you, in terms of everyone's seen you pad, obviously Liam and obviously all these other fighters, you're very sharp and active with it. You're almost like you're sparring them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
I'm
mean?
always
So
like
that-
kicking back or doing something.
Yeah.
Or there's very minimal delays in what we're doing. Even like my lower level PTs, I'll be obviously correcting technique and showing things and doing new stuff. But
Yeah.
they'll be working constantly. You'll see on my Instagram, they're all dead at the end of the session.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, haha.
Literally.
But they'll still learn. I'm still showing them something throughout it,
Of
but
course.
I'm still working you hard. I'm not going to let you get away with it just because you're trying to learn technique. You're going to learn the technique, but you're still going to work
You're gonna
hard
work for it as
in
well.
amongst that.
I get that. No, that's cool, man. No, really excited. What have they discussed in terms of duration of the fight? What rounds is it going to be? It's not going to be.
It's 5
is it
threes.
5 threes.
It's 5 rounds, yeah.
Perfect. Something that you're used to all your life. So
Something
that-
I'm used to. 5 threes, 1 minute rest.
guys.
Now I know the venue and where it's going to be. I've got an idea in my head who it's going to be opponent wise as well.
Nice.
So at least
an idea of
I
how
can start.
their
Yeah.
sort of
And
style,
I know
getting
how
a
they
game plan.
fight. Yeah.
Nice. Guys, it's going to be absolutely amazing. We're going to be, if you check out our social media, obviously everyone follows Andy anyway, but if you already don't, follow Andy on his Instagram. What's the Instagram? Andy Badco.
Andy Badco 1.
Andy Badco 1, yeah? Already, if you don't already follow him, press follow on that straight away, guys. We'll put the link below as well. And we'll be announcing, obviously, dates and everything. When we're allowed to announce dates,
As soon as I can.
opponents,
Yeah.
we'll be announcing that. And there'll be opportunities, guys, as well. What we're all here for as well, in terms of sponsorship or anything along those lines. Because what you got to remember, this man used to fight Thai when you were getting paid what if you're not like
God, mate, I got
what was
300.
it?
I got
300
300 quid for my first world title. Do you know what I mean?
So not what everyone sees the Thai fights getting now. It wasn't that bad.
It was nothing like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I'm broke.
literally. So what you got to remember, guys, this was a different generation of Muay Thai fighting. Now it's a completely different generation as well. So you guys and girls that obviously seen Andy's journey, if you want to obviously hook him up, drop him a message with any opportunities
That's
you may have.
the
That'd be
thing
awesome.
with it. Like, obviously now I've got to go from my full-time living at the minute is holding pads. And now I've somehow got to factor in trying to train most of the day and still make money. And as we've just been discussing, holding pads is hard. I don't know how I did it when I was younger, holding pads and fighting full-time. It's a fucking nightmare.
Madness.
And I
Absolute
couldn't do
madness.
it now. The last couple of weeks I've dropped quite a lot. So obviously I'm losing money.
Of course.
And I've still got bills to pay. I've got 2 young kids. I've still got like things I need to pay.
You
But
still need to live.
I still need to live. And
Exactly,
it sounds
yeah.
cheeky, like asking for sponsors, but in the longevity of this, like I need help for that, for promotional purposes and things like that for the companies. But the money that I'm getting from the boxing, this isn't no Thai boxing game. This is like next level.
Yeah, man.
I couldn't turn it down. So as much as I'm like kind of begging people to sponsor me, to help me with this, to earn money, I couldn't do it without people. You know, there's a lot of people who
100%.
jumped on recently, and without them, I'd be stuck. I'd have had to turn it down because I wouldn't be able to pay my bills, feed my family, stuff like that. So yeah, anyone that is wanting to sponsor me, I greatly appreciate it. So yeah,
Hook
it'd be
him
good.
up, guys. Hook him up, absolutely.
like-
And then
People don't realise that now. Is that people think I train for free? Well, of course I don't. I've still got to pay.
you still.
I'm boxing as well now, so it's not like I'm training. I train in bad company for free. Obviously, I'm a trainer,
Yeah.
but I'm not doing that now. I'm boxing, so I'm still paying Daryl for 1-to-1 boxing sessions 3 times a week. Training with that 3 times a week, depending what I'm doing. That's $1,000 a month.
There you go.
Just
in
on
itself, in itself.
Then I don't need to work with Pete at the minute, but I'm going to be working with Pete, condition nutrition. When I start working
Yes.
with Pete, that fee goes on that as well. It's going to be like near on $1,500 a month just to train. And people don't realise that. They don't see that. Travelling about for sparring, which I'm going to be doing.
Yep.
I've been talking to Callum Simpson to go train with him over in Barnsley and stuff like that. You know, I'm going to be like trying to get about and learn from a lot of people, like pro boxers that I know that are champions and stuff like that. So all that's going to be a cost.
So yeah, it's all gonna rack up, guys.
It racks up quick.
It's gonna rack up. So yeah, anyone that can help, please drop us a message. That'd be cool, man. And I'm as I said, as a fanboy, I can't wait. As soon as that date gets announced, I'm gonna be there.
It'll be ridiculous. That's
yeah,
for
it's
sure.
gonna be
boy.
awesome. We're gonna be we'll be flying over and obviously celebrating in style. So I can't wait for that. But yeah, that's the big news of the comeback. So I'm super excited with that. And now going into your promotional side, because you got like all these different ventures that you're doing. Obviously, I know we discussed obviously briefly, and we're going to go into that in a second with your Muay Thai career, and then obviously comment, and then making a real tough decision to retire from it, to then go into full time. I know you used to coach fighters whilst we were fighting, which is obviously tough in itself.
Yeah.
But you've gone into then full time coaching, developed hell of a lot of fighters that are still competing right now, and now into promoting as well. You've always had a bit of a dab in promoting, but where Hitman is right now is a different level.
Yeah, that's like next level, but
it's a different level.
Obviously, I think me, Liam and Clint did HDH promotions.
I used to fight on that. Yeah, I loved it.
We did HDH back in, I think, like 2010, maybe the first show, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that.
It was in the Hilton Hotel in Leeds. That
was the first show, yeah.
I remember.
So we've done that. That's when I retired after the Dean fight. I think that was 2011, the second Dean fight. I retired after that. Yeah, the Town Hall fight.
I was there.
I retired after that, and then I got offered a job to come and work down this way. So I moved to Birmingham in 2013, and then I started SO8 promotions in 2015. Yes. So then I was promoting on my own, and to be fair, I had some big shows and some really good names on it. You know, I had Jar, Dan McGowan, Tep Nimit Sitmanchai, Liam, Charles Francois, Ryan Sheehan, Justin Greskowitz, who's on yours next weekend. I had a lot of like top fighters on the shows. There were some great shows as SO8 over the years. I did my last SO8 show 2000. I can't remember now. It might have been 2020 after COVID. Yeah, 2020 after COVID. I did a show in the March just after COVID, a big show. Jacob Smith main event.
In Liverpool.
In Liverpool when
Josh
fought. That was 2020, wasn't it?
Yeah, something. Yeah,
that was 2020, I think. And that was like the last show I did as SO8. I then joined forces with MTGP. We did the Road to War. I only did one show of MTGP. It just wasn't working how I thought it was going to work. It was nothing against the MTGP guys. It just wasn't working. From that, Simon Jace, who I was working with on MTGP, liked what my vision was. I liked what he wanted to do. We had a discussion then about why don't we maybe do something different? Why don't we start a new promotions company and get Liam involved? Yeah. The name alone attracts people, is the biggest draw in UK Muay Thai, has been for decades now, probably will be for another few decades. To not bring Liam into it and not use his name would have been stupid. We had the chat with Liam. Liam was up for it. You know, obviously he knows his fighting career is not going to be around forever. Yeah. He's got the website. He's one of them that can't sit still for 2 minutes anyway. So it was just a natural progression to be like, right, us three, let's do this. We did a show in the April, the debut show, Natty Dodd's Ben Cant fight, like fight of the year, insane. Blood everywhere. Ricky's always worked with me on my shows in terms of he's always been my go-to official. Perfect. In terms of the referees and stuff like that, I've always had Ricky do that, and he's always sorted my officials for me. So it was then a natural thing for us to like have a word with Ricky. He knows Manchester really well. We wanted to branch out with the show, so Ricky came on board. So we've got myself, Liam, Cy Jays, Ricky Sewell. That is the Hitman Fight League team. We've all got a little role to play, kind of thing. And it's taken off. The first we did 5 shows in the first year. Wow. We've actually done less this year. We're going to do 4 shows this year, but we've obviously, you saw the last show, the production levels is like next level. Another level. It's totally different to anything we've seen in the UK before, production-wise. I think the fights as well. We've not had one
fight. The fights
were
insane. The fights, honestly, I didn't watch too much of the undercard because I was getting my guys ready, but I sat and, as a fan, watched the main card, and not one fight was... does that make sense? Every single fight, you're off your seats, man.
I think that's the main thing. Obviously, me and Liam have been in the game for years. Of course. Cy's been promoting for about 17 years. Okay. He knows everyone as well. Even though no one really knows who Cy is, unless you're from down south. Yeah. All the northern guys are like, Cy Jays, who's that? Evan's dad. Oh, yeah. No one realises that he's actually been a promoter from day one. Obviously, he's had Evan training since he was like 3-4 years old. So he's been in the Thai scene for a long time with Kieran Kettle back then. Yes. Ricky, obviously, trained with yourself, with Liam, and obviously the knowledge that Liam had and stuff got passed down to him. He's been in Thailand for God knows how long, become one of the, him and Chris Batch, the two best referees in the country, along with Jesse coming in as well, you know. He's then obviously spent a lot of time in Thailand. He's now working on One. He's like one of the main referees on One, so he's got that little foot in the door there, and he does a lot with them. So, you know, it just, as a team, it works really well. Yeah. Liam's obviously there helping out with matchmaking. It doesn't take much for Liam to put one message out and go, we need this. And there's an influx of people going, yeah. So, yeah, between us, it works well. And it's a good job because next year we've got a hectic schedule.
Yeah, I just saw your schedule come out. Yours and Liam's Instagram post came out the other day, and you're like, it's pretty much a show a month, isn't it?
Pretty much a show a month, yeah. We've got the big show, the Last Dance, March the 8th in Manchester. Then we've got April in London. We have May the 10th in Leeds. I've got a venue in Leeds now, a good venue in Leeds.
One thing I wanted to ask. This is me as a fanboy asking.
You're gonna say Town Hall, aren't you?
Why? It's one of the best venues. Like,
so I had Leeds Town Hall in 2019 for a show that I was gonna do.
Yeah.
An SO8 show, and they wanted $5,000 for the venue, which is a lot for Town Hall, but I get that. And then it was $8,000 for security. So they got told to fuck off straight away. I was like, absolutely no chance. And it doesn't hold as many as you think. Yeah. Obviously, when me and Liam fought there, it was packed to the rafters.
Yeah.
But the tiered seating, that's pretty much the seating. Do you know what I mean? Like, the rows at the back don't hold that many. I think it holds, with the ring, and it's about 1,500. Okay. Which, for £8,000 and a 1,500 venue, you're kind of losing money straight away. You're not really doing it. And you've not paid for a fight yet. Yeah. And medics and officials and the ring, everything else. You know, the cost that total up on top of it is ridiculous.
It's stupid, yeah.
Production-wise, the venue is beautiful. You can't do any production there. There's no light and no wind. You know, the walk down the steps is iconic in terms of, like, me and Liam and some of the best Thais in the world have walked down them stairs when they've come to fight Liam and stuff like that. It is an iconic walkout, walking down them stairs and walking through your mates is fucking unbelievable. The atmosphere is amazing. But from a business point of view,
doesn't make sense.
Getting people through the door, even like it just doesn't work. So I've got a venue in Leeds called Testbed. It's a smaller version of the Manchester venue, basically. Okay. Empty warehouse. It'll hold 1,500. It holds 2,000. Okay. With the ring in 1,500. But everything like Manchester is in-house. They've got a company that does all the production. So nice. From the ring entrance, all the lights and everything, it's all there. It's easy. It's not a ridiculous amount of money. It was going to be like a starting point to do smaller shows in Leeds, more like the Moneymaker, more the kinda ones like to make a bit of money.
Fight nights?
Yeah, kind of like what people are calling the Road to, kind of stuff like that. Yes. Obviously, you've seen the Manchester show's huge. It's ridiculous. Yeah. The London show's big. The outgoings on them shows is massive. Yeah. So they're not like massive money making shows, and that's not what we started this for anyway. We wanted to put big fights on, get fighters better pays, get some more sponsors in, and attract bigger things, which we have. Obviously, we've got the TV deal now. Brilliant. We've got a big American broadcasting TV deal. That's about to tip over the edge and be even bigger. We're waiting on a few things with that, but they want 6 shows a year. Okay. Nice. For that alone, we have to present the 6 shows a year. That's where we're at the point now where we've literally got March, April, May, June, July. We've got August off, which is nice. Oh, cool. And then we've got September, October. So that's the 6 shows up and down the country. Okay. It's basically 2 in each area. 2 Manchester, 2 Leeds, 2 London. Nice. At the minute. And possibly another one incoming, which will be in Leicester. But nice. I need to wait on that at the minute. Perfect. And that'll be just like another one added to it.
And then linked with that, you're doing a big show in the next couple of weeks.
I've got a show next weekend.
Next weekend.
We've got the England versus Thailand show next weekend. I was just about to say, yeah. So how did that all come about? Because obviously in recent years, it wasn't... In your time, it was so easy getting Thais over, wasn't it? To fight and stuff like that. And in recent years, it's been so difficult. It's been a nightmare recently.
So how did you manage that?
Again, Ricky.
Perfect.
Ricky lives in Thailand.
Okay.
He basically lives in Bangkok, doesn't he? So
Yeah.
he's on every Friday show.
Yes.
So he has to. It'd be absolutely pointless being there Friday to like Sunday and flying
And then
home
flying
for
back.
4 days. You know, and obviously wouldn't pay for the flights. They're not going to be like shipping him backwards and forwards. So he lives in Thailand. It works well. He can work from anywhere with the job he does. So he's remote from Bangkok.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Ricky's obviously with JP being out there and stuff like that.
Nice.
They're not from JP's gym, don't get me wrong, but
It
stuff
just
like
makes
that.
the communication a lot easier.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier. We had some messages on the page last year asking about he sponsors a gym, about bringing ties over. Those ties are now at JP's gym anyway. So again, it all kind of ties hand in hand.
Perfect.
I'm pretty sure JP lives with Ricky.
Oh wow.
Which is a disaster.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's not a good combination, is it? But I'm pretty sure they live together. I think they do. So yeah, it all kind of works hand in hand. Ricky's there every week. When we needed ties, obviously there's loads of connections anyway between myself and Liam, and I know a lot of ties in Europe that are much easier to get
over.
And that was the plan originally. There's like 3 or 4 ties that I know in Europe, a lot across like Sweden, Denmark, things like that. That was the plan originally. Ricky sorted this out.
Perfect.
So obviously the ones in Sweden and Denmark, they're good, but they'll be in the slightly older ones. These guys are still young, hungry fighters. The one that's fighting Ty Barlow's fought on one. You know, he's a young, hungry kid. He's very good, so that'll be a hard fight. Natty's opponent looks dangerous. He looks old on that picture, but he's only 20. He's like 22 or something. But he does look like he's in his 30s. Bless him.
Yeah.
It looks like he's been through the mill already. He's had a few hard fights by the looks of it. He's had like 100 and something fights. And then obviously the main one was a sit-stomping on fighter, very good sit-stomping on fighter. He's again been in there with everyone. So yeah, we've got three good ties coming over for this one. But obviously, like with our show and our plan, we'll be bringing ties more often.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. And linked with your show, obviously, because one thing that you've done in the UK, which no other promoters have done and no other promotions have done, is you've introduced the 4-ounce gloves. People have been seeing that on one championship. They've been seeing it obviously on the Friday night shows. They've been seeing it obviously when one do obviously their big shows in the States, in the cage, and it's obviously it's a different method of Muay Thai. It's a different.
That's the thing. It's not Muay Thai anymore. It's not Muay Thai anymore, and that's the big argument that everyone moans about.
I was just literally, sorry to interrupt you,
Right.
but I had Tony here about a couple of weeks ago. Tony Mars, he's doing it for my teammates, doing the judging seminar.
Yeah.
You know, like just so the team get to understand properly.
I saw what he was doing.
Yeah, and like I had a similar conversation with him, and he's like, it's a different sport. You got to think of it back in the day how it was Muay Thai and K1. This is how you got to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Muay Thai with gloves on, 5 rounders, playful, and then you got to see obviously the 4 ounces, and they're going for it, and it's almost
it's like if you look at back in the day when me and Liam first came onto the scene.
Yeah,
a lot of gyms then were basically K1 with a few elbows thrown in. Mm-hmm. It was like the Dutch style kickboxing with elbows.
Remendecker style.
It was. And it developed over the years. Obviously, we're lucky at Bad Company. Richard had been going to Thailand for years. Before that, we've always trained like that Muay Thai style, and we was a different style. But a lot of the gyms from back in that era, it was predominantly the Dutch style kickboxing, Remendecker sort of look, but with a few elbows.
Of course.
And then it's all modified, and like the sport's constantly evolving anyway.
Yes.
Even now, it's evolving
constantly.
And these 4-ounce gloves is just an evolvement of that again. But what people don't realise and forget about is John Wayne Parr did this a long time ago.
Yes.
You went there. I fought on one of the shows. I fought for the title.
Yeah.
Wayne did this. God, I mean, I fought on it in 2015.
Yes.
And he'd already done a bunch of shows before that. I think he was on about his maybe 5th or 6th show. So he'd been doing it for maybe 2-3 years prior to that. And when he introduced it, everyone slaughtered him. A lot of Thais, obviously he's well known in Thailand. He lived there for years. A lot of Thais were like falling out with him. This hit Muay Thai, you're ruining the sport. And he got a lot of shit. That's not why he stopped it, but he was getting a lot of shit. The next thing you know, by the time he stopped, Max Muay Thai comes about.
Yes.
Which is I think it was 6-ounce gloves, but MMA gloves.
Still MMA, yeah.
Max Muay Thai comes out. From that, we've got one championship. And then we have had other promotions in England do it, but no one's done it with the authority and with the real regulations of one championship. You know, there's a few, like, I know Diamond do it, MTGP do it. MTGP did have the road to one, obviously. That when me and Si were with Phil, did the first road to one with Natty Dodds, Coakley, Bender, and all them guys when Coakley won and got his contract.
Yes,
that was the road to one. Since then, it hasn't happened, and we've now got
Hitman
that.
Have got it, yeah.
Hitman have got that, but this is like the official. And obviously, we've done it every show. Yes. We've done it on three of the. We only do it on the Manchester show. We had the final of the tournament on the London show in April, just because we had to get it in because they're gonna. I think, that was Joe Welch the winner. Joe Welch now fights in November in the final. I think so. Yeah, we should try to find times to put it in because we're idiots. We were like, we'll do it all in one night.
Did you see everyone? And
then obviously
they had that war.
Jacob Thompson and Jay Council. Like me and Liam are sat ringside looking at each other going, we can't fucking make them fight again.
No. I literally was watching that. I was just mouth wide open.
But this is the thing. We was like, we'll just do it all in one night. No one thought of the consequences. One didn't think of the consequences. We got on with it. And then at the start, we was like, we'll do the first round in normal gloves, but then it's not one championship. Yes. So you can't do that, can you? Do you know what I mean? So we had to keep it legit. Luckily for us, and thankfully to the guys like Dan Bonner and Jacob Thompson and the coaches, they were very understanding. Like on that night, we were like, look, guys, look at the state. Everyone's fucked. Like Joe Welch and the guys that won were like, everyone's fucked. I think there was only Joe Welch that came out of the whole thing not injured.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But he won by like first round knockout, I believe, in so long. Dan Bonner broke his hand, so obviously he couldn't have fought again. And Jacob and Jay had absolutely no chance. They broke everything in the face and hands. So like, luckily the guys were understanding. It was like, look, obviously it was just an idea, but we had a chat with them after. We're like, we're really sorry. We're gonna have to do it another time. Jay couldn't
completely understand.
Yeah, Jay couldn't have done the April date. So Jacob couldn't do the April date.
Yeah.
So we did that. Obviously, the last show in March. He's now fighting. I believe he's doing his Friday fight in December.
Oh, nice.
So it's round the corner. He'll be back in training now, ready for that.
Perfect.
Like I say, Joe Welsh, he goes in November for the final, I think. So yeah, it was just a bit of a silly idea, but if it happened on the night,
no. But this is the whole point of everything. Learning. Does that make sense? It's not like what it used to be when you used to wear the 8-ounce gloves and it's just
and none
you
of
could
us
do an 8-man tournament.
None of us expected that amazing spectacle that Jay and Jacob did. No one were expecting that. We knew that were going to be a good fight.
Potentially fight of the year. Fight of the year.
It was 100% not fight of the year.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. We were sat there going, bastard, that's the final. That's the final, you know?
Yeah.
Like, with no disrespect to the other guys,
of course,
in that four-man.
Of course.
But that was the final. 100%. And that should have been the final. Imagine that in the final. The fans would have been like that.
They both would have got a contract for that.
Well, this is it.
They both should have got.
I mean, there was people from one watching. There's people like Timo watches the show, you know, and he was like, well done. That was a great fight. If that had happened in the final, I do believe they'd have just said, you know what, bring them both. Yeah. Bring them both. Because we can see the both fighters. They're going to fight. They're going to turn up. They're going to put an amazing fight on for the fans. And that's what they're looking for at the end of the day.
100%. A question to you. Do you think this is going to be the full takeover of the new sport of Thai boxing, shall we say? Do you think now in the next couple of years, it's all promoters, all shows are just going to be 4 ounces?
No.
Or do you think it's still people will still want the 5 rounds, 8 ounce? Because they're not doing a lot of that in Thailand at the moment, are they? In terms of Lumpini and stuff like that, then it's none of that's happening now.
They are still doing the shows. It's more Raja, I believe. Like Yokkao, we've got a big show at Raja Damner now. They do a show at Raja and stuff like that. So Pechindi do big shows. Obviously, there's RWS.
Yeah.
I think.
So you don't see it dying out, or
no. It won't die out. No. It won't. There's too many purists. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a purist. I love 5-round Muay Thai.
Of course.
But depending on the fight, it's not as exciting as that 3-round madness that you see on one. It's exciting. And there is a lot of purists moaning about it's not Muay Thai. No, it's not.
No, it's a different
Just
sport completely.
accept that fact. Have that in your head. It's
Yeah.
not Muay Thai. It's a fight.
Literally.
That's Muay Thai, the 5-round
That is good.
RWS.
Yeah.
Go watch that if you don't like it. No one cares.
Yeah.
But it's fucking exciting.
And it's bringing bums on seats.
And it's where the money is. No other show has got eyes on the sport like one.
Yes. It's very
The sport has gone bang since one started doing this. So why is everyone moaning? There's fighters getting paid more than they've ever been paid. Literally changing their lives. Look at Haggerty.
fucking insane.
Like, the money he was on for a fight, insane. Nico now getting ready to fight Superlek. He'll be on good money if he manages to pull it off.
Yep.
Life changing.
Set his future up now. That's it.
All the bonuses. Haggerty's had 200 grand bonuses. Do you know what I mean? That alone is like life changing in itself.
Yeah.
So I get where people are coming from. If you're a purist and that's what you love, I totally get it. But don't just think that because of that can't exist.
Right.
Because they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Without that didn't happen. Without the 5-round RWS and like traditional Muay Thai, that never happens.
Yeah.
But without that, they're not getting paid as well as they are now. Because everyone's getting paid now.
Yeah.
It's not just one.
They're
Getting decent money on other shows as well. Like, the money is going up and up and up and up because they're becoming more celebrity status for a lot of fighters.
100%.
RWS is on DAZN. You know, like stuff like that. It's getting a lot more eyes on the sport, which there in turn brings a lot more money into it, which is what we're trying to do, the same thing with Hitman Fight League. And that's why I like what we're doing. We have traditional 5-round fights, Muay Thai, title fights. We've got 3-round 1 fights. We've got Pro K1. Like, there's everything under the banner there.
All of it happening.
Everything's happening on one show. So whether you're a purist or not, you'll come and watch that, but then you'll watch the one fight and go, fucking hell, that was good. That's the hope.
Yeah. And it's more, the way I say it, the argument I have, when you watch, I'm a purist as well, when you watch 5-rounder, we get it, we've been in the sport all our lives.
People don't understand the scoring.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Fact.
Fight fans, when you're trying to fill a building with people that only know one person and they've no idea what he does, and then he loses because he's got kicked about for 4 rounds, but he punched his head in for 1 round, and they're like, he won. That's not their fault that they don't understand the sport.
Yeah.
But when you're sat there and you can physically see the violence that's happening on the one championship side of things, it's quite blatantly obvious who's won.
It's obvious, yeah.
Whether it's punch kick, and obviously it's scored differently. It's the global rule set. It's slightly different. It's more on the damage side of things and effect, you know. So I think it makes it more aesthetically pleasing for the fight fans, which in turn should hopefully bring more bums on seats for the general public.
I went to Liam's fight in Denver in September, and obviously I've been to Thai shows all around, like all over. The best by far to this day was obviously, I remember still remember to this day when I used to go to Lumpini, and the atmosphere there was insane. But one in September in Denver,
atmosphere in Denver was insane.
It was the best I've ever. As from a fan point of view, I was there. I was sat there, and I was just looking. For a moment. This is way before Liam's fight. I was just looking around and
thinking, "Fucking hell,
what have I just walked into?"
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? What have I just walked into?
That's what I was like when I took Liam to fight the first time. I think the first one fight I got to take him to when he jumped in on short notice and fought Pech Morocco on like 2 weeks' notice at 70 kilos in Malaysia. And we walked into this massive venue. It was like 20,000 venue. It was like, holy shit. All the setup, the lights. And
looking at people up all the way up
yeah,
there.
It's
like,
insane. And we're like, wow, look how far the sport's come. Do you know what I mean?
1,000,000%.
From when we fought as kids in a fucking working men's club where people literally sat ringside smoking. The judges sat smoking. Like, come on. It's come a long way. I get, like we were saying with the purists, I totally get it. I totally understand
1,000,000%.
it. I'm a purist myself. I love watching traditional 5-round fights.
Yeah.
But sometimes, let's be honest, they can be boring.
Yes.
Sometimes they can
Especially
be boring.
rounds 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, man.
And round 5 when no fucker does all. When end of the day, like, I get the scoring, I understand it, but I'm also a fighter.
Yeah.
And I've never been one to touch gloves and dick about in round 5, regardless whether
You're
I'm
going
winning
for
or
it. You're
losing,
going for it straight
which
away.
has cost me fights.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's cost me fights because I'm always ready to engage and I'm always wanting to fight, and it has cost me fights. I did it against Tanit Watanabe in America. He dropped me round 1. I dropped him 3 and 4. I've won. I should have just done as Badger told me, stayed on the back foot and just moved around. And I tried to take his head off and got fucking sat on my ass again. But I wouldn't be the fighter I am. I wouldn't have the following that I built in Muay Thai without fighting the way I did. And shows, you know, I think
a lot of people, is the word mimic? Like when they follow you kind of thing, and they're trying to be like, sometimes like,
don't do it.
you're saying it now, but during that time, like even at times like where you're even inspiring someone, and you're
like, come on.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to bite down on that gum shield.
Sometimes,
and you have to just.
But this is the thing, and this is the one thing that I know with all my guys that have.
Yeah.
Even when they do it wrong and they lose fights, and like they'll try and do stupid shit, or they'll get caught with a punch and they'll be like, "Come on, then." I'm like, "Stop doing it.
Do it.
Stop showboating. Grit down on your gum shield and go punch his head in." But like, I know they've got that in them because it's old school mentality. It's installed into them. None of my fighters are going to run and just left kick and score on the back foot and move around. None of them are going to do that.
Yeah.
If they're winning, they'll be told, "Be careful. Go do your thing, but hands tight. No dicking about. Like, don't make any mistakes." But I know they've all got that dog in them where if I say, fuck this, it's not working, Terminator mode, go.
Let's go.
I know they're just going to go and just go fight. Do you know what I mean? Like, and
100%, man.
All our gym have that.
Every single person.
Richard's always trained us like that. Me and Liam have been the same. Like, we train all the guys that we hold pads for exactly the same.
Yeah.
And like, that's one thing that separates us, I think.
Nice.
You know, if you're going to fight someone from our gym, you know you're in a fight. 9 times out of 10. 9 times out of 10.
Straight up.
If you go, match with bad company, fucking hell, it's going to be an hard fight. And that's what you should have, that mental. Like, people should know that.
100%.
It's something to be proud of as a gym.
I always used to say, Rich and Lisa were here, and we were just asking, like the group were asking questions because they came to teach a seminar early in the year. And the group asked them a question. They're like, we used to watch you guys fight, and you used to have your pink corner jackets on and everything, and then there used to be you guys fighting. That corner team over there had like 2 or 3 people in the corner,
85,
and they'll be like, they'll be like a fucking coach or a corner man. But that's what it's about. And I think mentally speaking, psychologically speaking, that fighter's already lost, knowing that you've got a fighter there, but you've got a fucking corner team.
An army.
Yeah, literally. And as soon as you could see the scoring happening, it's like going crazy. Linked with that, your fight career. One of the most insane careers of UK Muay Thai, worldwide Muay Thai. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, one of my earliest memories of I used to watch you when I was obviously a lot younger, going to obviously the Lee Town Hall shows and obviously, but do you remember one of the very first shows I remember watching you was around 2006 or 7. It was in the Reebok football stadium. And you body hooked the guy, and you probably don't remember this, but I was there with, I was upstairs in the change room, and you walked past me, and I was like, fucking hell, that's Andy Howson. I was like, fucking hell. But I remember watching, and you dropped the title with that insane...
WMC Intercontinental title.
Yeah. But you've had one hell of a fight career, best careers going. If you had to pick out of all your fights, who was the one fight and the one fight you fucking enjoyed, as weird as it sounds, but enjoyed the most?
Cantipong, straight away. Cantipong, yeah.
Talk through.
I fought a Thai called Cantipong from Tony Myers, Pimu. Pimu brought him over. He was top 5 in Lumpini and Rajadamnan, Omnoy Stadium champion. I do 150 odd fights. It was my 26th fight. I just beat Damien, the first fight for the number 1 spot.
Right.
I just fought Damien Trainer in the February. Stopped him, took the number 1 spot, and then I think it was...
What year was that?
June,
What year was that?
2005.
2005, okay.
First fight, 2005. And then I fought Cantipong in my very next fight.
Fucking hell.
And Liam fought Duao.
Yes.
Who else was on the show? Oh, Kev Harper fought... who did Kev fight? The owner of Simbi. He fought Simbi.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he fought him, stopped him. Reese Crook fought a Thai as well.
Yeah.
From Pimu's. And when we're downstairs, we're all staying in the same hotel.
Yeah.
We're downstairs waiting for the minibus to come pick us up, and all the Thais are sat on the internet. And they're calling me and Liam over, and me, like, what the fuck's going on? They called us over, and they were like, they've got us on like the WMC website showing us the fucking pictures with him with all the belts on and all the rankings and this, that, and the other. And me and Liam just looked at each other and was like, fuck. And Duawud had like 200 and something fights, and we're like, fuck's sake, we're going to get battered here today, aren't we? Shit. But then we went, I just remember it was an absolute war. It went insane on round 3. Round 1 and 2 it was one of them, but I didn't know. I was still young and quite fresh to the sport. I think I had a European title, but I've said this quite a few times, but I never thought of my fighting career as a career at that point. I've worked a full-time job near enough my entire fight career.
I was going to touch base with this because you were one of the main names, well, one of the big names in UK Muay Thai, but you were coaching, but not compared to what you're doing now.
Not specifically coaching. I was holding pads. Yeah, I was holding pads on a night after training. Like it's
you were working.
I worked a 9 to 5 every day. So when I had a fight, I'd get up and run now and again if I needed to. If I were too fat, the last 2 weeks predominantly, if I was too fat, I'd get up and run at like 6 or whatever. Go to work, go to the gym on my dinner hour. Sometimes like meet Liam in the gym in town, jump on treadmill for half an hour, blah blah blah. Shoot back to work, quickly eat, and then I'll be back working. I finished up. The work used to let me out like 10 minutes earlier. I'd get to the gym for 5, and then me, Liam, Badger, Jordan, David Mack when he came. We'd all then pad each other. Mark Lee back in the day. We'd all meet at 5 o'clock, and us guys that were all fighters would all pad each other, spar, clinch. We'd do whatever we were going to do 5 till 6:30 or whatever. And then the class would start, and we did the class till 7:30, 8. So I was still training like 2.5 hours a day just in that class.
Nice.
But I was working a full-time job up until that fight. I beat Damien. Again, I was like, fucking, I'm UK #1 buzzing. Didn't really pay any attention to it.
Wasn't a career.
Fighting was just like, it was a hobby. It was just a weekend hobby for me.
League football team type of thing.
I trained my ass off. I always trained hard, but the fight itself was like, I trained hard for it. I never fucked about. Especially back then. I fucked about more in my later years. When I kind of had a bit of a skill set, do you know what I mean? I still trained hard, but I still went out drinking. And I didn't like commit to it as much as like diet-wise and things like that. There was no nutrition back then. There were no nutritionists. Like we'd weigh in and go to McDonald's together with your opponent.
Doing stupid cuts like 8 kilo and
stuff. Insane shit. But after the Damien fight, fighting Cantipong, I didn't realise sounds stupid, but I didn't kind of realise what I'd done. I'd gone 5 rounds with a like elite level Thai and had a war with him, sliced him up in round 3. Round 3, there were like over 54 elbows thrown in round 3 alone. It was madness. We just like elbowed the fuck out of each other. And then I sat down. I was saying, Richard, I just remember Richard looking at me going, same again. I was like, oh God, no. I've got to go mad again. So we like, literally round 3, round 4, round 5, we did that. But I was landing good punches, things like that. But he was getting my back and chucking me on the floor and clinch and stuff like that. I thought I'd won because I didn't understand the scoring properly. I knew body kick, this, that and the other, but it was still a fight to me. Because it wasn't like a full-time thing then. It wasn't quite registering in my head. Like, I jumped on the ropes and I was like, but I don't know if I thought I'd won or I was just so excited I'd gone the distance with him. You know what I mean? I don't know if I was just like, fucking hell, I've just gone distance with this Thai. Like, I wasn't expecting to. I thought he was going to punch me in. I thought he was going to stop me. And after that, it was fight of the year. Like, even Tony was like, that was fucking brilliant. You know, like, I won a fight of the year award for it. Nice. There were a few things going on, and I just went, no, do you know what? I might be actually all right at this. So I fucked my full-time job off. I still work part-time, but I changed my hours and I was literally working like 9 till 12. Okay. So, and then I think every other Tuesday, I think like Richard picked me up from work and me and Liam would go over and train Master A and stuff like that. And we started doing a few little different things earlier in the career. And yeah, I started doing a bit more. Then I started doing a few, like trying to do PTs and stuff like that and training more people in the gym to make a bit of extra money on the side. All at Badco, yeah. I've been at Badco my entire career, apart from, obviously I retired in 2010 and moved to Birmingham in 2000. Well, I retired for about 10 minutes in 2010.
Yeah.
I came back and had a couple of fights. And then in 2013, I moved to Birmingham and started working here and opened SO8 gym.
Nice.
So I was here like 5 years with SO8 gym and then moved back to Leeds in 2017.
And then during that time as well, like where you decided, this is going to be a Thai career of mine now. This is what I'm going to be doing. You got one of probably the biggest rivalry fights alongside.
Me and Damien is by far the biggest and best UK rivalry that we've ever had.
By far.
100%.
And then talk about like how, because was it 4 or 5?
4 fights.
4 fights.
3-1 to me.
Yeah, there you go. And then how did it come back with the rematch then? Because obviously you beat him in 2005. And then
yes, so this is
was it him that instigated the rematch?
Yeah. This is where all like the dispute started and why Weekend started falling out and shit like that, which made it a bit more like
entertaining from a fan point.
Yeah, from a fan point of view, because obviously everyone here wants him to win.
Yeah,
and Damien was obviously a much bigger name than me. He'd had God knows how many fights by the time I even started training. I didn't start training till I was 17. I didn't have my first actual fight till I was 18.
Right.
So Damien was like European champion and shit by then.
Right.
And fought in Thailand on the King's birthday and stuff like that. He'd had loads of fights. So I think I had quite a quick rise in the UK rankings.
Yeah.
I beat Reece Crook, which took me up in the ranking. I think I was number 2. There was a few other fights like Liam Raktu and bits like that, but we just never panned out for us to fight. So I got the shot with Damien on Master Skens in 2005. Round 1 and 2, quite even, tit for tat. Damien probably edging it. It was a lot sharper. And like back then, I was like a big fanboy of Damien. I used to watch him and I was like, fucking hell, he's so good.
Yeah.
We used to watch videos in the gym and I was like, he's fucking so good. Like. And then when I got told,
he used to do with this,
when I got told about fighting, I was like, oh shit. I was like, fuck, he's actually a bollocks. I better train for this. I remember going back at end of round 2 and Richard fucking slapped me. Richard went, what are you fucking doing? And I was like, huh? He's like, you're giving him way too much respect. Stop giving him respect and go fight him. And then I went out round 3 and just controlled round 3. For me, I controlled round 3. Yeah. I started putting him under manners a bit, putting combinations together. I was pushing him around the ring. And then just over halfway through the round, pushed him back on the ropes and threw a kick punch and the punch dropped him. He got up from the count, tied up in the clinch, kneed him a bit, threw him down again.
Nice, big scores.
And then, I'd won round 3 massively. 10-8 anyway from the knockdown, but I'd won round 3 big anyway. And Damien didn't come out for round 4. And that's when the controversy started.
Right.
Obviously, I've stopped him on paper. I dropped him and didn't come out for round 4. That's how I see it.
Yes.
And it wasn't me being a cunt or like being horrible. I was like, that's exactly what happened. I dropped you with a punch. I won the rest of the round. You didn't come out for round 4. Broke his hand. And he has got a bad hand. Don't get me wrong. I know he had a bad left hand. Said he broke his hand. He fought in Hong Kong about 5 weeks later and won the Hong Kong title. So like I wasn't being horrible, but I was like, break your hand. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it kind of had, and it wasn't even me that said this. Someone else had said it, and then it all get back. And you know what Axe is like. Then it was back in the Axe days. Yes, then all of a sudden, me and Damien hate each other, which we didn't at the time. Like, I don't hate him now. I don't hate him now. It's like a rivalry we've had for years.
Of course.
Anyway, we rematched pretty much a year to the day.
Oh, okay.
On Master Skens again.
Nice.
Damien had been in Thailand training for the fight, and he beat me on points, fair and square. You know, I still look at the fight and think,
did it? Yeah.
I'm not sure. Well, based on like Muay Thai scoring, if you go back to 2006, and again look at the officials that was there, one judge give it me, one give it to, and the other 2 give it to him. The one that give it to me is still a very good Muay Thai official right now. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And the other 2 don't judge anymore. Don't even know where they are. Gyms have kind of gone more K1 based gyms and stuff like that. I'm not saying it was wrong. I'm not saying that at all. But I watch it, and I personally think I won. Damien won. I couldn't give a shit. I've never been online. I've never moaned about it. I've never said a word. And then from that, it took me. That was 2006.
Yeah.
I've been asking for rematch. I want a rematch.
You
2000.
you were pushing the rematch.
I was pushing the rematch. Yeah, I wanted my number one spot back.
Of course.
Like I say, that by then, that was my career.
100%.
So even just going from number one to number two can affect me sponsor-wise or getting new people into training, stuff like that. So I wanted the rematch. It took me 3 years to get the rematch. I think it was 2009 at Fairfields Hall, Croydon. Yep. When Liam fought Sanchai. I think it was 2009.
Nice.
And I beat him on that convincingly. Again, rounds 1 and 2. Tit for tat. Damien possibly edging it still. But then 3, 4, 5. Dum. Like, I won easy.
Big.
Same thing on the last. And then I retired. So I had that fight, a couple more fights. I went a bit off the boil. I started work. I got a full-time job again.
Right.
I got offered a job working for my mate Glenn CrossFit at a security company.
Okay.
And from being a fighter, getting 5, 6, a grand max at the time, to someone going, do you want a job? You'll get a company car, phone, and X amount of money a month. I was like, fucking sign me up. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
So I started working a full-time job. I was still in the gym, but I wasn't like actively in the gym as much. I wasn't training really. And I proper went off the rails. I had like a really nice apartment in Leeds City Centre with my best mate. Wow. And it just went west. I was out every night drinking and carrying on and wanting the gym. Yeah, just going fucking nuts. But I've never done it before.
Always
I've been in the gym all the time. Yeah, I've been out, but I've been in the gym all the time. Never missed sessions. I was me and Liam were both one of them people that would fight on Saturday. We were back in the gym Monday. Yeah. Either training ourselves if we weren't injured or helping everyone else. We've always done that. But this, I just had a year where I went absolutely nuts. I was single. I had a nice apartment in Leeds City Centre. I was getting good money. I had a nice company car. You know,
things were good.
Yeah, exactly. Things were good, and I just lived my life for a year.
Perfect.
But in that year, I fucking had to fight. I got told I was fighting Dean James, defending my world title.
That was on when Leon fought Anua.
No, that was Town Hall. I fought the first time on that show.
Okay, yeah.
And it was like split. I think I lost majority decision again. Yeah. It was close. It was all on the last round. I think me personally, I think it was on that last round. In the last round, he picked me off with knees, long knee. I was trying to punch his head in because I thought I was behind. Yeah, so I was going for the knockout, and he was just timing his knees well. So yeah, he won that fight. 1 round, I think 1 round, but yeah, good fight. The first one was very good.
Really,
first one was a good fight.
I was there again in the crowd.
First one was a great fight, really good technical fight, and we were like, me and Dean were like kind of best mates then.
Yeah, he used to come up to you as well and spar.
About a month or so before the fight, before it had got announced, he'd stayed at my house and we trained together. He were in bad company and stayed at my house, and we'd been out and had a drink and shit, you know, And then obviously we fought, and nothing changed. We were still good mates after that, and then.
Yeah,
history happened, sort of thing. But I think I fought Dean, and then I fought in America. I fought in America the week after. I fought Dean on this. I weighed in Friday, fought Saturday, flew Sunday, weighed in Friday, fought Saturday against Romeo Danza in California.
Wow.
I'd like done them, and I just think when I'd done all this in 2009, I just felt a bit burnt out. I had a lot of fights.
Fatigue.
In that like 2007 to 2009, I was really active. I think I had 10 fights in 2007, 9 or 10 fights in 2007. And I was fighting like a lot of ties. I won that WMC title, stuff like that.
I just want to stress that these weren't little fights. These were like
these
are big.
Good, like
big
elite
names.
Even if it were, I wasn't really fighting UK guys then. It was European. I was fighting top European and ties mostly in them couple of years. 2010, like I say, I retired. I think it was 2010. Me and Dean rematched. And I retired like the May or June of 2010. Yeah. I was working for my mate, and I just went, I got cut to fuck. But I went out on the Wednesday because I wasn't bothered about the fight. I didn't care.
Your mindset was elsewhere.
I didn't want to do it. I'd said to Richard I didn't want to do it, but I'd already agreed it, so I did it. I'm not going to let people down. I just made sure I got paid for it this time rather than like a couple of £100.
I hear
you. I did the Dean fight. I didn't take that seriously at all. You can tell, by the way, how fat I am when I fought. Same like in the same year I fought Rungavi. Like I had a bad loss against Rungavi.
Yes, I remember that fight. Yeah.
And again, I didn't take it seriously. Look how fat I am in that fight. It's horrendous. I've got a belly hanging over my shorts and that. And I was just like, wow. I just wasn't bothered.
Yeah.
I didn't care. I had a year where I just didn't care. And it's the only year I've lost. 3 fights. I've lost 2 fights back to back, but then I've gone on to win.
Yeah.
And again, the losses have been against like top level opponents. But that I just thought it's not for me.
Your mindset was that.
Yeah, I was a totally different place. I did not care about fighting. I still love Muay Thai, but I wasn't even interested in being in the gym. I'd literally not been near the gym. I retired then, and I didn't go near the gym for about 4 or 5 months, I think.
Yeah, I get you. When that when the fire goes out your belly.
Yeah.
I get it. I completely get it.
And it's pointless because that's when you start getting hurt and like, look what happened to Muay. Like, don't get me wrong, it was a good fight and everyone
Your
loved
heart was
it.
in the right place because we saw it all there.
Yeah, everyone loved it. My heart will always be there, even if my mindset's not there. I've always got a heart and I'll always fight.
1,000,000%.
Obviously, it's cut me to ribbons, and I was like, let's go. I had 1 round I had the end of that round to try and pull it back, so I went wild and ended up getting cut and ended up getting cut more and stopped on cuts. And then I was like, nah, I'm done. So I called it a day. I had a bit of time off, but then when I came back and went boom, 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 won.
What? But how? This is what I want to ask you, because this is the mindset I always want to talk about. Everyone knows your mindset because they see it all the time in all your fights. You're always ready for war.
Yeah.
Hence why your name got called Lord of War. Do you know what I mean? But everyone knows your mindset in terms of you just want to fucking, again, go back, bite down on a gumtree, walk into it. You got burnt out, but how did you get that fire back? What was it that instant, like, boom? What was the trigger that, like, yeah, I'm fucking coming back now?
Well,
because you've done it. Obviously, you stopped 2011.
I retired then. That was my first time
Yeah.
I retired, and then I stopped in 2015.
Properly.
Yeah, end of 2015. But then I came back.
So, but what I'm asking is what triggered it? Was there a certain
It's
trigger
different
point, or
things
was it?
that affect it, I think. So for me, that time I was working a full-time job, like I say. I'd had a couple of losses and I thought I need to reset here. Like, I just wasn't invested in it anymore in terms of I didn't want to fight. I didn't really want to be in there holding pads or anything.
Yeah.
I was enjoying myself, going out every night and going on holiday and shit like that, and having money in my pocket and being able to do whatever I wanted to do at that time.
Have a life.
Yeah, have a life.
Have a life, yeah.
I've lived like on a shoestring all my fight career. I would live with my parents
Yeah.
all the time. Luckily, my parents supported me all through my fight career. And I was living with them until I was like in my 30s. Do you know what I mean? Like, and all because I was fighting. If I hadn't been fighting, I'd have had a job.
Or if one championship wasn't, if it was round back
then. If it
then.
would have been about then, I'd have been fucking loaded, mate.
Yeah.
I'd have had
Then
bonuses.
then we'll be having
galore.
some serious parties.
I'd have had, I'd have probably killed myself to be honest. But, I think just my mindset in terms of I could always have a fight is different. That's a different mentality. Wanting to do it is a different thing. I didn't have the fire in my belly. I didn't have that instinct where I wanted to be. I didn't want to be in the gym. Yeah, it's want.
Yeah.
It's not do, it's want. I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So I just didn't do it. I was working full time. I was doing this. I was just busy doing that. The job that I was doing, I was like I was the contracts manager for the security firm. So I could be driving to London, and then I could be going to Manchester on the way back.
So
and this, I was out all day, like sometimes. Or if I wasn't out all day, I was sat at my desk doing paperwork, and I was doing payroll as well. So I was like doing people's payroll on a Friday and other bits and bats. But then in the week, I was out going to sites and stuff, trying to do stuff like that. So I was doing all sorts. Whether I was out on the road, I was tired because I'm driving about. If I was in the office, I'm tired because I'm just sat looking at a fucking computer screen. And it's not active. It's not a healthy, it wasn't a healthy thing for me. So that turned into me going home. My flatmate was like, I can't be asked cooking. Let's go to Thai Edge. It's 2 minutes away. Go get Thai food. Couple of singer.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, my sponsor had a bar. I'm in the bar.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm drinking for free. Next thing I know, I've gone from there to there. Then I'm in space till 5 a.m. Then I'm going back to work. It was just stupid shit, and that was every day.
Mad routine. Crazy routine.
It was a mad routine, but I had a great time for a year. And then the job went, the apartment went, I moved back home, sorted myself out, and then literally 2010 to 13 is when I went bam, 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 and I had a really good run of fights again. Got back to being like top of the rankings and stuff like that. Obviously fought Damien again, beat Damien again for the fourth time. Yeah, 2012, wasn't it? Yeah, beat Damien. I'd fought for I lost, but I had an amazing fight in Japan for the kickboxing world title.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
5 knockdowns in a minute and 20 seconds or something stupid like that. And I started getting some good fights and getting some good names under my belt again and getting my name recognised again. And I was enjoying it again. I was loving it.
Brilliant.
Beat Damien, loved it. And then after the Damien fight, I'd already agreed to come and work in Birmingham. So I had to win that fight, really.
Yep.
I felt a lot of pressure for that fight, especially
More so than the others?
More, so way more.
Okay.
Especially from the person I was coming to work from, because it was one of them where, like, if you don't win, there's kind of no point in you coming, because Damien is Birmingham.
Yep.
From Muay Thai, especially back then, in that day, he was.
Yeah.
But I won comfortably. Like, it's the same again, like round 1 and 2, playing the game. Still probably edged it, but then 3, 4, 5, just boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
That's cool.
Like in round 5, he just gave me his hand.
Oh, fair play.
Which is the first time I've seen him do that, and I was like, But I just remember touching his hand, and I kind of danced about a bit, and just heard Ali go, "Stop fucking about." And I remember going, "Sorry, mate." Wham, big left kick again. But won the 4th fight, and that like put a seal on it. Then I've won 3-1. Like, there's no coming back from that. That's me. I came down here. I was still fighting.
Yeah.
I was still very active. I won the WBC world title while I was living
Liverpool.
and coaching in Birmingham. Yeah.
You and Liam won it on the same night.
We went on the same night. Yeah, that was amazing.
Nice.
So, like, I still had a good run. I think the fight on Wayne's, again, that was when I was in Birmingham.
Nice.
So I won the WBC world title. But when I was in Birmingham, I saved all my holidays. I didn't have any holidays. I was working in the gym. I was getting paid. So it was kind of like, it was nice. I was getting a monthly salary.
Nice.
I kept all my PTs. I didn't really do many anyway, to be honest with you, because I had that money, so I didn't need to. I was in the gym all day, so I wasn't spending any money. I was just teaching all day. I did the first 2 weeks training here.
Yeah.
My girlfriend helped out for me most of the time. I do bag work on the morning and like a circuit on the bike and stuff like that. Ala said all pass me in the class, in the fighters class, or Rob. People like that all pass me. I do a bit of work like that just to get a bit of base fitness again. And then I'd come home for 4 weeks and do a solid 4 weeks at Bad Company.
Got you.
And then obviously I did that for the WBC fight. I fought Minity in Australia for his CMT world title. I did the same thing a couple of weeks here. Then I shot over to Bad Company. I was travelling to Manchester 2 or 3 times a week to train with Vinny as well. Just doing boxing with Vinny over at Salford at Pod's gym.
Nice.
Had that fight with Minity. Again, close fight. I fought, I won. They give it split decision, loss. Right. He kept his belt. I fought, I won. And then from that, I was meant to rematch Tanit Watanabe on Yogi's show in Birmingham.
Right.
And I agreed to that.
Yep.
I agreed everything to that. And the weight was 55. And then on maybe 2 weeks' notice, he tells me that the tie's not coming. And I was like, why? Oh, he wanted more money. And I was like, right.
Give it.
Wouldn't do it. Oh, I've got this replacement. You can fight Joseph Lasari instead. And I was like, who the fuck's Joseph Lasari? Now, this is my fault and I shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
I've commentated on Lasari when he fought Dean James, and Dean absolutely battered him in about 40 seconds. Just absolutely humiliated him at Gatecrasher. So
yes, actually, I remember that fight. Yeah.
So for me, I was like, I don't know who this guy is. I'm fucking WBC world champion. I'm not fighting. Why am I fighting him? I said, I'm not doing it. Oh, well, and I should have stuck to my guns, and I should have just gone, I'm not doing it. And it'd have all been happy days. As it is, I agreed to it. I thought, I've sold a bunch of tickets. I've got people coming over to watch the fight. It's a bit of pocket money. It's a fight. It should, in my head, it's an easy fight. The weight then dropped as well because it was, he was fighting at 53.5. So my plan's already set for 55. I've now got to drop to 53.5, and that fucked me up. And I've never done this before, so I don't know why I did it, but I made weight easy. Me and Luke Greenshields have been to cut weight. Kept him back, and he goes, "Hey, do you want one of these? A high carb drink, like a pure carbohydrate drink. Never had one in my life. Normally just drink water.
Yeah, hydrate properly. Yeah.
I've weighed in, and I've gone, yeah, go on then. Bump, ruin me.
Straight for you.
Exactly that.
Straight for you.
Exactly that.
Imagine it.
I was a mess.
I made a mistake once. I cut weight, and instead of having water, I ended up having something like one of these green juice things. Went straight through me.
Straight through me. It ruined me. I couldn't eat. I couldn't drink. Everything I had. I went to Nando's with Luke, Nakash and all the boys from the gym and like Danny Harrison Little from Legions and that. There were a bunch of us there. I just didn't eat a thing. I had like one mouthful of mashed potato or something and then took my Nando's home. I didn't eat till midnight. And then like the next day I was still throwing up. I was still shitting. And I was like, I don't want to fight. I felt all right warming up and then I just had no energy.
Could you take? I know this sounds weird.
I was fine there, but he was a maniac as well. Yeah, he got in the ring and was just boom, 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 like non-stop forwards. And I mean, I hit him with some solid shots, but I just felt like I had no power. And I got stopped, and I was like, I've just been stopped by someone I should be battering. Literally. And I just went, do you know what? Fuck this, I'm done. I can't be arsed with this shit anymore. I'm just gonna stick to coaching. And I did then. I think that was 2015, I believe. And then I was too busy with my gym, coaching anyway, and I'd loads of fighters straight away.
I was about to say, like, you went from obviously your fight career, which is fucking amazing, to then dedicating your Muay Thai career into coach of all time, developing all these fighters out of what seemed like a fucking nowhere.
It seemed like nowhere,
but they were there. I know what you said.
It's one of those where a lot of them, I'll take credit for it because I'm tweaked a few things, but I had a bunch of kids come from, when I opened the gym, I had a bunch of kids come from K-Star, I had a bunch of kids come from other gyms.
So it had foundations.
I had kids that have trained but they'd never been allowed to fight because the gyms I was at before, they'd said they weren't good enough and this, that and the other. And then within 6 months, all my juniors were UK number one.
Yeah.
Like every junior I had in the gym were UK number one. And then I had a young lad, Cowser, went straight in, and I think Cowser had 2 or 3 C-class fights, and he was very unlucky, but he fought like quite high-level C-class kids that have had like 8, 9 fights. He were having like 1 and 2, and he did well. He beat a Thai kid, Ben Benakota, I think it was called. He lost to him on RAF show, but then rematched him 6, 8 months later, A-class.
Oh, wow.
And beat him and went straight into rankings at number 3. Obviously, Nicola Kay came back to me. Yeah. I've trained Nicola from day one when she was at Bad Company for her fights. She'd moved away to New Zealand for a bit. When she moved back to England, she moved to Birmingham. Yeah. She went back in the rankings, won European titles and stuff like that. I had a good bunch of fighters. But again, it was just, I loved doing that. I really enjoyed it, but Birmingham just wasn't for me. I loved it at the time, and don't get me wrong, I had some amazing times down here. But then it got to a stage of, I was in the gym all day, like all day.
Going back to that thing again, not having a life.
I live with my girlfriend. I don't see her till I finish work at night. Yeah, and I had stupid timetable. Just I didn't really have any. I had so many classes. The only time I had to do a fighters class were like 8 till 10 or something, or 7 till 9, I think, something like that. So by the time I've actually finished the fighters class, got everyone out, and cleaned up and that, I was getting home at 10:30, and I only live 5 minutes away. So by the time we were getting out and getting home, and then like I was just getting a bit sick of it. Yeah. I loved it. I loved doing what I was doing, and I was really enjoying it. But I'm not a businessman in terms of running the gym. I had business partners for that, and we ended up having a stupid fallout, which was over absolutely nothing. Really. Yeah. They didn't like that we weren't making money, and I was like, well, I'm not a businessman. That's what you guys are for.
You're the coach.
You've got your success. You've got your success. I'm in this gym at 6 or 7 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. Yeah. I go home for 2 hours in the afternoon to eat, and that's it. Then I'm back here and I'm doing classes all night. Surely this was the discussion, I'll run the gym. The gym. I thought that meant in terms of teaching.
Mats.
Yeah,
I get you.
And I get that there's parts and things that I should have been keeping an eye on, but I wasn't. I was just too busy concentrating on that. And it just all went a bit like that. And we had a big fallout. They wanted to leave. I was like, fuck this. Then I'm going back to Birmingham. Off you go, the gym's yours. Yeah. And then Nathan Bender's now got the gym.
Yes.
That is now, Dominate is actually my old gym. Yeah. It looks a lot better now, though.
Yeah, it looks
it was shit when I had it. It looks ace now. Bender's done a good job. It looks brilliant.
Yeah,
and obviously he's got now a great group of fighters coming out of that gym as well.
Yeah.
It must be the building. It's not the coaching. It's the building.
Nah, but it's sick, man. Honestly, like,
don't forget as well, though, when I was in Birmingham, I brought John Wayne Power over twice. I brought Technimit over.
Liam, quite a lot
Liam
of
would do it in the
Liam-
gym. Yeah, I brought all these people to the gym and seminars and stuff. Like Wayne did seminars all around. I brought John Technimit at Manchai. He did seminars at the gym and all around. He was teaching in my gym for a little bit and fought on the show and stuff. So like, there were a lot of people coming in and out of the gym. Some really good fighters coming in and out of the
You
gym.
achieved a hell of a lot in that place. Like, honestly, I just remember seeing from the outside point of view, and I was like, wow, like, you've gone from fighting, obviously, having this amazing career, to now coaching full-time, having an amazing career as a coach.
I think, like, with the utmost respect, that's one of the things that fucked up with who I was working with previously.
Okay, yeah.
People was talking about that gym and my name.
Makes sense.
Which does make sense because I was running the gym. I was the coach and I was running the gym.
Yeah.
But then I've got people that I was teaching that were getting ranked and doing this and doing that, and people are getting eyes on them. And I think it was a little bit of jealousy, a little bit of like not having the control, and that affected things, and which is why I went an open mind and everyone came with me.
There you go.
Like, you know, I'm the coach. They're not going to stay there. They all came with me, and that were done and dusted in a couple of weeks.
Now you're doing the exact same at Bad. Like, you've always done it at Bad Curve with everyone else, but you're doing the exact same thing, and it's great to see. Like, let's talk about your current fighters now. You got a couple of the girl from Norway.
Malin, Malin's doing well. Yeah, Malin's doing well. Malin's been training with me on and off for about 2 years now. She comes over from Norway.
Wow.
To train with me.
That's dedication. I used to complain going from Coventry to Leeds.
You still can't get there, you cheeky
exactly.
bastard.
And then she's flying in from Norway.
You've still got a block of 10 PTs that you haven't touched. Because you just can't drive 2 hours.
Yeah, literally, and getting too old.
She messaged me randomly out of the blue and was like, oh, can I come and train with you? I was like, yeah, no worries. And then, do you know what? Like, this is a part of my problem. It sounds stupid. I'm too nice.
Yeah.
She'd come over from Norway and then I felt bad taking money off her. I've never charged her for anything.
Fair play.
I've never charged for a PT. When she's fought, I've never taken money off her. She forced money in my pocket after her last fight a couple of weeks ago. Wow. But she's been coming over for 2 years now. Now she lives in Leeds now. She's moved.
Okay. Oh, nice, nice.
Got a visa and she lives in Leeds. She's now a student. So she's at Leeds Uni doing nutrition and stuff like that. Fair but she's full-time fighters. Yeah, she's like moved her life to Leeds. Brilliant. To train mates, yeah. Obviously, we've got some good. They're not like mine, but I train them. I PT them a lot. Zombie does most of it. The most of his training with me when he's ready to fight. Jamie, Callum, you know, there's a great bunch of people in the gym. I've got a couple of younger, like Ellie as well. Ellie's really good. Just had a couple of fights. Nice. Only like 13, getting strong.
And then linked with that, you guys are going to Bad Code 2.0.
Yeah, unbelievable, mate.
Oh, man. I've seen
the gym's unreal.
Richard was showing me pictures last time he was here of what it's going to be looking like. You guys have obviously
He showed me pictures of the toilets. Everything else, like, Jesus Christ.
That was like a 5-star hotel. Yeah, I was just about to say, what the hell, man?
But I wouldn't mind. I walked in, you know, our bathroom's shite in the gym. It's horrible. And the toilet had a hole literally right where your foot would go. I walked in the other day and it's got a brand new floor and it's all, I was like, oh, that looks nice. Oh. And then I went downstairs and looked on my Instagram and he's put pictures up of the toilets in the new gym and I was like, holy shit, that's a shithole.
Literally.
But the only problem for me with this is I live the opposite side of Leeds now. Like, I'm like way out. Well, I'm like, for the gym now, I'm 15 minutes away. I can get there in 15 minutes. To the new gym, it's going to be half an hour minimum, possibly 40, 45 minutes. So I'm going to have to do a lot of like thinking and messing about with my schedule and my PTs to see
your training.
And my own training,
yeah, and your training as well.
To try and see how I can do it. To be honest, mate, from pretty much the end of this month, I'm not really going to be a PT in any way. My sole purpose now is to go back to full-time training, ready for this pro boxing fight, hopefully at the start of the year. I need to. I've got a lot to learn.
It's not far away.
Yeah, it's not. It potentially isn't far away, and I've got a lot to learn. I'll still train like all my like Malin who we were talking about then. Yeah. After training yesterday, I dropped her off, and she was like, "When you said in class the other day you weren't doing PTs anymore, you weren't holding pads anymore." I shit myself. I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna have to move back to Norway." Like, you're not going to train. I was like, "No, I'm still going to train my fighters."
Yeah, of course.
But I'm not going to be every day pads. I'm not going to be doing that.
You can't do that.
I can't do that. You guys can tick over. You're fine. There's some amazing coaches in the gym. You train with Richie. You do this. Like, you don't need me. But when you fight, yes, I'll pad you.
Yeah. And
hopefully it's after my fight's out the way. I'll have to try and tie things in around my schedule for their fights and stuff like that. It's like, obviously, like with the show, I've got loads on. Mm-hmm. It's predominantly, like Manchester-wise especially, it's me and Ricky that do the majority of the matchmaking. Obviously, Liam was busy with his fight the last time. Liam's obviously fighting on the March show, so Liam's busy training for the March show.
Are you going to be training for that as well? Are you going to have to train him for that, or are you not going to be able to now?
Again, and we need to see what schedules are like. I want to, and I know he wants me to. I'd like to, especially with it being the last one. Like, obviously, I want to be a part of that.
Of course.
But like I said, my shoulder's not 100%. I'm hopefully having an MRI next week so I can just see what's going on.
Yeah.
And then I know the extent of the damage. I know whether I can just cortisone it and get on with things for a couple of months, and hopefully it'll be all right. I mean, look, I'm going to fight whether I've got one arm or not.
That's you.
If it snaps, I'll fight. I don't care.
100%.
I'll still do it. But I'd rather be able to go into this at least 99%. Rather than like my last bunch of fights, I've gone in like fucking 50% top end because everything's been fucked.
You were on one championship, or you just explained with that shoulder.
Well, yeah, we've gone in that. Do you know what I mean? It was 4 years ago. So, ideally, this is an opportunity. This is the thing. Like, this is an opportunity for me to not only look after myself but look after my family.
Yeah.
I've got 2 young kids. Like, my daughter's 3. My baby boy's like just 4 months old. And it sounds stupid when I say I'm doing it for them, but I am doing it for them because like 100%. I can get this fight done. If I can get 3 or 4 fights out of this, I don't need to do anything else. Like, I'm getting good money.
You're getting what you fully deserve to get from.
Well, yeah. Like, I'm getting really good money. Like, finally, it's come at 45. Well, to be fair, I'll be nearly 46 by the time I fight. But if I can get 3, 4 fights out of this, I don't need to worry. I've got a little pension. I've got the, you know what I mean? Like, I've got fuck all. I've got nothing from Thai boxing. Nothing. I've got memories, a bunch of belts, and a nice little reputation as a stupid fighter that liked to war. And, you know, I've got a reputation. I've got my name and stuff like that. But I've got nothing financially from it because the money was so, like, I think the most I've ever been paid was 1.
Okay.
Which was good. Which was good money, and it was 4 years ago. And
I know
that money that I got straight away, I got the garden done with. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's other things going on. Like, obviously, COVID hit as well. So you got to think. I fought in January 2020. I got a nice chunk of money from one, and I had some good sponsors that would pay me as well. But that chunk of money then, what should have been able to put a little pot away for something, COVID hit. Bam. Couldn't work or do anything for 2 years or whatever. It all went. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. People don't see that side of things as well. Like, as a fighter, that were a big thing. I couldn't teach. I was doing stuff online, but I was doing it mostly for free. Obviously, at the time, I was training Grace Spicer and this, that, and the other. Yeah. I was doing FaceTime video calls with Grace every day training. Me and Grace trained every day through COVID, pretty much.
Fair play.
But obviously, I couldn't hold pads for her. But she had a bag in the house and this, that, and the other. And I was like, right, do this, exercises, this, that, and the other, doing circuits.
But you weren't getting an income from it.
But I wasn't getting an income from it. But the same with Grace. I've never taken money off her.
Yeah.
I've trained Grace for 3-4 years. I ain't taken a penny off her. Most of my fighters, there's only Liam who actually financially looks after me, and he's the one person that I never expect it from. We're family. I don't expect it from him. But he's never not going to do that. So Liam, like, obviously, he sorts me out after the fight. But all my other guys, especially like the lower level guys, like Jamie pays for PTs, Callum pays for PTs, you know what I mean? But I'm never going to expect them guys that are getting 150 quid a fight or 200 quid a fight to go, give me a percentage of that. It's not fair.
I hear you, man. I hear you completely. Nah,
and it's like this, like I say, the same with Malin. Like,
you're not going to take. Yeah.
You've flown over and you're living in a hotel for like 2 weeks. Do you know what I mean? Like,
she's dedicated her life to
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I'll get it.
The thing with Malin as well is she's a female version of me. She's only 20 or 21. She's rock hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
She's rock hard. Like, I'll tell her to do. She's one of the very few where I'll literally go, do that. She'll go do it straight away. No questions, no moaning. We've
seen on the Monday sessions when we bring the team over and she just walks through people. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, she's mental. Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's things that I need to work on with her.
Of course.
When she first started coming, her confidence was very, very low. She was like, no confidence sparring, didn't think she could fight, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, she's ranked in UK. I think she's number 8 now. The rankings have changed.
Okay.
She's number 8 at 57 now, but her last 2 fights have been 55. I'm going to move her down to 53 and a half.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She's only walking around at like 57, 58 now.
Oh, yeah.
She just didn't have a nutrition and things like that on point now. Like, her nutrition's on point. Obviously, she's doing nutrition at uni now, so she's learning on the like she's with Pete as well. She works with Pete.
Oh, nice.
But along with working with Pete and being at uni learning it, she's already getting a better idea of how to look after her body well with that. She trains with Nat as well, and obviously what she's doing now. So I want to move her down to 53 and a half, and at 53 and a half, she'll absolutely murder people, I think, because she's very, very tough. She's rock hard. Yeah. I mean, her last fight on us, we did the Versi show in April.
02.
Yes,
yeah, London.
Yes.
Yeah.
The April show we did. She was matched to fight, got a staph infection in the shin, big hole in the right leg, couldn't right kick. And this was like 2 weeks before she fought, or like 10 days before she fought. And I was like, I'm pulling you out. No, I want to fight. And I was like, Malin, you haven't even got an opponent. She's pulled out. No, I still want to do it. Found her an opponent. Found out 3 days before the fight, she was fucking southpaw. I was like, fuck's sake. So you can't even use your right leg anyway because you got a big hole in it. Like, it had gone by the time she fought, but she still had a little hole. And it was
still
sore.
recovering.
It was still sore and it was recovering.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have fought. She fought. She did well. Don't get me wrong, she lost. She could have won. She hurt the girl around. Well, it's just one of those, but she showed a massive heart. And she was gutted after. I was like, why are you upset? The fact that you've told me you wanted to do it and done it,
gone through all of that,
means more than winning to me. Like, because that's the mentality I have and I've always had. And Liam, like, the mentality.
You said something to me years and years. This is like, I can't remember what fight it was. I came to train with you once as well when I was like training with Liam and yourself. Like, and to me, you said is one thing you can never teach someone is heart. I remember you telling me that.
You can never teach.
You can teach all this, and you can teach all the.
You can teach technique. You can teach your mind how to how to work. You can teach people how to score a fight when it's going on and know when to do something at the right time. Yeah. You can't make people physically get up off their ass and go to war to win a fight.
Literally.
Like, you cannot train that. That's built into you.
100%, man. And honestly,
and I've done it far too many times.
I was just about to say, and that's all of your fights. And again, I don't want to keep referring back to the past and everything, but one way I think everyone, the whole, and people still refer to it as Dean James 2, where you were cut. And referee, I think the doctor came in.
Doctor's like, no, you can't do it. And me and Liam are like, no.
You guys are going,
give me the end around, give me the end around, just give me the end around.
You can't teach that. I absolutely love that.
And I've done that a few times.
I love it. It's insane. I absolutely love it. So.
Tony, I think it was Tony. I fought a Malaysian boy for the WMC.
Is that the lip one?
When he split my lip. He split my lip like literally like from there down to here. I had like 20 odd stitches in it, internal and external. I look like that thing from Blade 2. I look like that. But when we hid it in the corner. And when it came over, luckily the doctor that does the shows knows me really well. And he was like, no, it's fine. But when you took it away, Tony came over and I see me sat there going, don't stop it, Tony, don't stop it, please don't stop it. And he just looked at me and I'm not, calm down. Like, chill out, I'm not stopping it.
No, honestly, it's great.
Without X amount of people being in that building, the show's not fucking happening. And we're out of business and it's done. Literally. I don't get why people don't understand that. But with that said, we're in a state, because of how well this has sold already with Liam being on and Liam's Last Dance and people wanting to watch Liam, we're in a situation where we don't want to put loads and loads of fights on. Yeah. We're going to do it similar to UFC and have like 5 or 6 prelim fights.
Nice.
Straight into the main card and then we're done.
Perfect.
So it'll work well. So March is pretty much done. Me and Si have already put a bunch of feelers out for the April London show. I've already got a main event and a few others for the May show. So it means like now that March is done, I'm already like, nice. I'm on with getting on. Yeah, we're getting on with them too. And as long as I can have, if by Christmas I can have March, April and half of May done, we're in a really good place. Perfect. But we need that done because we've then still got fucking June and July. So yeah, we're going to have to just be mega prepared for 2025. But we're off to a good start anyway.
Are you allowed to announce Liam's opponent yet?
No.
Okay. I tried, guys.
Keep trying, mate.
I tried.
Oh, I've got every fucker messages me every day going, who's Liam fighting? And it's a former WBC world champion, international champion, national champion, Spanish opponent. So
nice.
He'll be announced soon.
Awesome, man.
He'll be announced soon.
Guys, if you haven't already, like I said earlier, give Andy a follow. It's Instagram, AndyBadco1. He's going to be announcing dates, opponents, etc. for his upcoming bout. If you haven't already, follow him and just keep following his amazing journey. Thank you, my bro.
Cheers, brother. Thank you very much.